Hey, it's Ashley with At Home with Ashley. Today we're going to do a one-day DIY, and I got to get on it because it's almost noon already, and I got a lot to do. So my bathroom is currently torn up because we're doing a whole renovation, which means I have nowhere to get ready in the morning. And so I thought, oh, I could do a little vanity. I looked on Facebook Marketplace for weeks. I couldn't find anything. And then I was like, I should just go to Ikea. And I got the Brimnes dressing table. And it is tiny and compact and really adorable, but not actually that adorable. So we're going to make it over and make it much cuter. I love that it's tiny, but I want to add some wallpaper to it. I like the grass cloth look. If you've seen on Serena and Lily or other websites, the grass cloth wallpaper look is really big and it's high-end and expensive. So we're going to cover it in grass cloth, add some hardware, and hopefully I can get it done today. Okay, so I wanted to show you the vanity. Like I said, it's very petite and it's really nice because it opens up on one side with a mirror and my makeup, and then the other side has a drawer. So there's tons of storage, which is very nice, but it's not much to look at. It's not terrible. It's definitely not great. I was a little nervous to start this makeover because I've never wallpapered a piece of furniture before and I don't want to mess it up. But what I did was I just started with cleaning it. That's easy. Cleaning it will help the wallpaper stick better. And then my husband came in and he drilled the holes for the drawer pulls. And I was going to do this at the very end, but it kind of makes sense to do it earlier because you won't mess up your wallpaper when you just do it this way. And later you can just put holes in the wallpaper and put the pulls in. So right now we just have the holes. For this project, we're using a faux grass cloth, and I'm going to show it close up. It's really nice because it still has texture in it from the raised ink, but because it's vinyl, it should clean really well, and it's just so much more affordable. Normal grass cloth is made of actual grasses woven together, and so it just gets really expensive. And I do imagine because of the woven nature, it'd be hard to turn the corners on it. So this is just so much easier to install. And I'm going to start by putting on my first piece. And I decided it makes sense to do the biggest piece first. So we're going to do the piece that wraps around the top left and the side. I can't do the whole top at once. If I could, I would. I can't do it at once because there's that mirror pop-up. So I'm just doing the other side that doesn't have a pop-up. And I measure it first. And I like using that fabric tape measure thing because you can go around the corners good. So I measure and then I cut the piece the same length. And then here is all of the measurements I cut. What I liked doing was cutting one piece at a time and then putting it on. And then trimming it and then going to the next piece. So once you have your piece cut, you're going to line it up where you're going to start, and then you're going to pull off the backing about 2 inches at a time and use your wallpaper smoother to smooth that section. I've heard people do this project and have big problems with bubbles. I had zero problems with bubbles because I worked slowly and only took the back off a little bit at a time, smooth that down. And if you do get a bubble, pull that part of the wallpaper up. This is pill and stick wallpaper. We're using this step because it's cheaper and it's easier to apply. So pull it up, push out the bubble, and then keep going. Okay, the next thing I was really worried about was trimming the wallpaper. It turns out it's not so bad. I'm using an X-Acto knife to do this, and then all I do is I pull my X-Acto knife along the side of the furniture and trim off the wallpaper. Sometimes getting it going is a little bit hard, but once you get it sliding down, it's so smooth and easy. It's very fast. When going over the edge of the dressing table, what I like to do is push it over with my fingers and get a nice fold before continuing by pulling the backing down, using the wallpaper smoother, and going down. I definitely suggest the wallpaper smoother for this project because it really helps the wallpaper adhere to the vanity, and so that's just nice. And it helps get all the bubbles, and it's like a $4 tool. So a really good part about using this wallpaper is it's super forgiving because of the texture of it and the all over pattern. If you like cut a piece and it's not quite right and you kind of have to patch it, you really can't tell unless you're like this close away. So that's really nice. I mean, be careful and do it the best you can, but also know that it's forgiving. Like I had a part where I hadn't trimmed it and it was just folded over another section. You could barely even tell. I probably could have gone away without trimming that little piece, but it's really nice that it's forgiving. This makes it a very beginner friendly project. You don't need power tools, just scissors and an X-Acto knife. So you're just going to go from one section to another, cutting the wallpaper, applying it, and then trimming it. I like to do the biggest piece to the next biggest piece, and that way if you kind of like mess up with the measurements, you could reuse that piece, and you kind of know like towards the end like how much you have left. But I had enough wallpaper for everything, which is great news. Okay, I wanted to show you a mistake I made over here. So I was cutting this piece and I cut it wrong. because you got to make sure like the grain matches up. So that would look terrible, but because I'm cutting it from biggest piece to smallest piece, this will work for the drawer fronts. So just gotta cut that piece again. Let me remind you about what this little dressing table looked like before, and I'm ready to show you the after now. So there you have it. The cute little dressing table has so much more personality now. This wallpaper comes in a ton of different colors. So if you want to try this, you can do pretty much any color of the pastel rainbow, which I love. There's even pink and yellow, which I was tempted to do pink, but there's a lot of pink in this room. So a minty green was a great choice. There's a lot of plain Ikea pieces that you could really upgrade by covering it in wallpaper. So you could use the methods from this project to do a lot of different pieces. Anyway, I'm really pumped with how this turned out. It did end up being a one-day project, even though it was a few-hour project, which is really nice. I haven't had one of those in a while. And right now with the bathroom, we're getting new plumbing, and so people are working on that. So this is a nice project to do in the meantime. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you aren't already, I'd love for you to subscribe.